All right, everyone. We are going to start again. Okay. Very good morning to my lovely student. Very good morning to my lovely student. And I'm sorry for the problem with the PowerPoint. Okay. Now everything is gonna be all right. Okay. All right, everyone. Today we learn about day and night. Day and night. Okay. All right. This is day. Everybody say together. Day. And night. Very good job. Okay. And this is cloud. This is cloud. Very good job. And this is rain. Rain. Well done. And look at this picture. This is wind. Wind. Everybody say together, wind. Good job. And this is windy. You guys can see the picture. All right. Windy. We place guide. Okay. We back to the same. We back to the same page. Okay. Which one has strong wind? Which one has strong wind? Number one, yes or no? Yes. Very good job. And then number two. Number two, yes or not? Look at this. Look at it. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. All right. And then everyone. And then number three. No. And then teacher move to next. Which one has strong wind? Which one has strong wind? Number one. No. Number two. Number two. Number two. Yes. Number two. Yes. And number three. Yes. Okay. Look at this. Look at this. And then teacher move to next. Which one has strong wind? Number one. No. Number two. No. And then number three. Yes. Well done. And then everyone, teacher move to next. Which one? Which one has strong wind? Which one has strong wind? Number one. Number one, no. Number two. Number two, yes. And number three. No. Okay. Good job. And then teacher move to next. Which one has strong wind? Which one has strong wind? Number one. Yes. Number two. What a picture is it? No. And number three. Play basketball. No. Okay. All right. Okay. We finish. Keep quiet. Keep quiet. We finish. Keep quiet. Okay. And then, this is a day. What you can see, everyone. What you can see in a daytime. What you can see in a daytime, everyone. What you can see in a daytime. You guys can see the sun. In a daytime, you guys can see the sun. All right, and you guys can see The rainbow. You guys can see the sun and you guys can see the rainbow in a daytime. Because the sun is in a daytime and the rainbow, you can see the rainbow in a daytime. Okay. All right. And then in a nighttime. In a nighttime. What can you see in a nighttime? You can see the moon. You can see the moon. All right. And then you can see the stars. You can see the moon and the star. Everyone. The moon and stars. Okay, and next, teacher move to next. What can you see? What can you see in a night time? What can you see in a night time? You can see old and bad. Okay, very good job. And then teacher move to next. What can you see in a night time? What can you see in a night time? You can see fire, firefly. Everybody say it together. Firefly. Very good job. You guys can see firefly in a night time. And then, what can you see in a night time? Mouse. You guys can see mouse. In a night time. Okay. And then, in a daytime. In a daytime, you go to school. You go to school in a daytime. All right. Very good job. And then teacher move to next. What can you do in a daytime? What can you do in a daytime? You go to study at school. Study at school in a daytime. You can go to the class and study at school in a daytime. And then, what you can do in a daytime? What you can do in a daytime? Kite. You can go outside with your family. And play and do the kite with your family. Kite. All right. And then teacher move to next. In a night time. What can you do in a night time? You can sleep. You guys can sleep in a night time. It's very good to sleep in a night time. Okay. And then teacher move to next. Next. What can you do in a night time? Do you know this? This is we call firework. Everybody say together firework. Firework. You guys can see firework in a night time. You guys can see firework in a night time. Okay. And then teacher move to next. In a daytime. In a daytime. So in a daytime you can go and have a picnic with your family. Ah. And then ah. Ah. Which picture is a daytime? Which picture is a daytime? Number one. Ah, number one is a daytime. Ah, very good job. And then number two, no. Ah, number two is night is nighttime. Ah, number two is is nighttime. Ah, okay. Number two is nighttime. Okay. And then next. Ah, it which picture in a daytime? Which picture in a daytime? One or two? This, this or this? One. Ah, what are they doing? What are they doing? Play, play volleyball. Ah, play volleyball at the beach. Ah, let's see. Very good job. Ah, play volleyball. And then number two is no. Ah, no, no. Okay. And then number three. Ah, number three. Ah, and then number three. Ah, which picture is a daytime? Two. Very good job. Two. Very good job. What are they doing in the daytime? Ah, what are they doing in a daytime? They are they are biking. All right. They are bike. They are do the activity with their family. And then which picture? Which picture is a daytime? One. One. Correct. And this no. Okay. All right. And then teacher move to next. In a night time. In a night time. Okay. In, this is which picture is a night time? Number one or number two? Number one. Number one. Very good job. And number two, no. Number two, no. Okay. And then teacher move to next. Which picture in a night time? Which picture in a night time? One or two? Number one. Let's see. Very good job. Number one is a night time, and number two, no. Number two in a daytime. And then teacher move to next. Which picture in a night time? Number two. Number two. And number one? No. Number one, no. Number one in a daytime. Nighttime. We sleep in a nighttime. We sleep in a nighttime. Okay. And next. Which picture is a nighttime? One or two? One or two? Two. Let's see. Okay. Two. Two. All right. Okay, number 2 is a night time. Before we go to the bed, we have story. Tell some story. Before go to the bed. All right, and then which picture is a night time? One or two? In a one. One, right? Number 1. Let's see. Very good job. What we call this day? We call ลอยกระลอยกระทง day. ลอยกระทง day. Alright? Okay. And number 2, no. Number 2, no. And now everyone, it's time to work. It's time to work. So now it's time to work. All right, everyone. So now it's time to do the exercise. Everyone, open your book in this page. Open your book in this page and then do this exercise. For the first part, color the sun. You guys have to color the sun, okay? Color the sun. And then second part, you guys have to circle the big star. Which star is big? You guys have to circle. Have to circle the big star, and make a circle the big star. Okay. All right. And number 3. And part 3. Join the numbers from 1 to 10. And then color the picture. You guys can join the number from 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then when you finish, you guys colors the picture. When you finish, you guys colors the picture. All right. And then when you finish, when you finish, you guys have to put your exercise in the album. Okay. I will create the album to you guys for this. All right. Okay. Good job, everybody, today. Good job.